What if I told you that a simple handful of food, something you could pick up at any grocery store, might hold the power to make your erections stronger, your sperm more energetic, and even your desire come back to life? Imagine not needing expensive pills or complicated treatments, but instead finding that the answer was already sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet. I'm Dr. Amelia Hayes, a urologist who has worked with thousands of men just like you. And today, we're diving into the surprising science behind this food. It's not only been shown to boost sperm quality by over 50%, but also to help blood flow in ways that directly support stronger, longer-lasting erections. And here's the twist. While all types of nuts are good for your health, there's one specific variety that researchers believe could be a true game changer. Stay with me until the very end, because that's when I'll reveal which nut is the real star player for male vitality. As men, especially once we cross our 50s, we start to notice changes we never thought would happen to us. Energy isn't the same. Desire doesn't feel as strong. And sometimes, intimacy becomes more stressful than enjoyable. I've seen this in my clinic countless times. Men who feel embarrassed, even ashamed, because their body isn't performing the way it used to. But let me ask you a question. What if just one simple addition to your daily diet could shift things? What if a natural food, not a medication, could help restore confidence, strengthen your erections, and even improve your fertility? This isn't wishful thinking. In fact, in 2024, researchers pulled together data from multiple studies to look at exactly this question. They wanted to see if a common food could influence male fertility and even sexual function. What they discovered was more than surprising. It was powerful. The results showed dramatic improvements in sperm quality and vitality when this food was eaten consistently. And as we'll explore later, those same benefits also extend to erections and overall sexual health. So today, I'll take you step by step through the science, the results, and most importantly, how this could apply to men in their 60s and beyond. Because while the studies often focus on younger men, the truth is these benefits can be even more life-changing for older men who are looking to reclaim energy, intimacy, and vitality. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more fascinating the story becomes. In 2024, scientists reviewed 4 separate studies, pulling together the results of 875 men and women of reproductive age. Now, why does this matter to you, a man in your 60s? Because the science gives us clear, measurable proof of what this food can do, and the principles of biology don't suddenly stop when you hit 60. 2 of those studies were randomized controlled trials, the gold standard in research. Men were divided into 2 groups. One group ate servings of this food daily, while the other avoided it. After just 3 months, the results were striking. Sperm motility, the ability of sperm to swim, jumped by 51%. Sperm morphology, the shape of sperm, crucial for fertilization, improved by 54%. And sperm vitality, a measure of how alive and energetic sperm are, shot up by 61%. Think about that. 61% more energy in your sperm. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between sluggish and powerful, between mischances and real possibilities. Of course, 2 other studies, which were observational, didn't show as strong a connection. But remember, those weren't randomized, and the serving sizes were much smaller. It's a reminder that dosage and consistency matter. I've seen this play out in my own patients. Men who make steady, small dietary changes often see improvements in their blood work, hormone balance, and yes, even their fertility markers. And while most men over 60 aren't actively trying to father children, sperm health is a mirror of overall vitality. If your sperm are healthy, it means your body's internal systems, hormones, blood flow, cellular energy are running well. So when we talk about this food's impact on sperm, we're really talking about its power to recharge your whole system as a man. And that, my friends, is only the beginning. So what was this mysterious food that changed the game? It wasn't some exotic herb. It wasn't a pill from a supplement store. It was something you've probably walked past 100 times at the grocery store, nuts. In one study, men ate 75 grams of walnuts every day for 12 weeks. In another, they consumed 60 grams of mixed nuts, 30 grams of walnuts, 15 grams of almonds, and 15 grams of hazelnuts for 14 weeks. Just a handful each day. Not a drastic diet. Not a complicated plan. Yet the results spoke volumes. Why would nuts have this effect? The answer lies in what they're made of. Nuts are packed with omega, 3 fatty acids, and monounsaturated fats, the same kinds of healthy fats that protect your heart. These fats also play a crucial role in sperm membranes, keeping them flexible and functional. Nuts are rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, which shield both sperm and eggs from damage. They even help stabilize blood sugar levels. Thanks to their low glycemic index, a huge plus since blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance can sabotage fertility and hormone health. And here's where it gets interesting. In American culture, many men over 60 snack on chips, cookies, or processed foods. But what if you swapped just one of those snacks for a handful of walnuts, almonds, or hazelnuts? Instead of filling your body with empty calories, you'd be fueling it with building blocks for vitality. I've had patients tell me, "Doc, it feels too simple. Can it really make a difference?" And my answer is always the same. Sometimes the simplest changes have the biggest impact. The body doesn't need complexity. It needs consistency. A small daily ritual, like grabbing a handful of nuts, can quietly but powerfully shift your internal chemistry over time. But fertility is only half the story. Because the real magic of nuts lies in what they do for your blood vessels. And that's where the link to erections becomes crystal clear. Now let's shift from fertility to something every man over 60 cares deeply about: erections. Why would nuts help with that? The secret lies in how they protect and nourish your blood vessels. You see, an erection is nothing more than a rush of blood into the penis. For that to happen, the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, has to be healthy and responsive. Nuts are rich in antioxidants, which protect those delicate vessel walls from damage, and they provide amino acids like arginine. Arginine is the raw material your body uses to create nitric oxide, the ignition switch for an erection. Without nitric oxide, blood vessels stay tight and closed. With it, they relax, expand, and allow blood to surge in. One small study looked at 17 men who ate 100 grams of pistachios every day for just 3 weeks. That's not even a full month. And yet, researchers saw improvements in erectile function and even measured better penile blood flow using Doppler ultrasound. In other words, they didn't just ask the men how they felt. They actually scanned the penis and saw the blood flow improve. Another trial studied 83 men split into 2 groups. One group added 60 grams of mixed nuts to their daily diet, while the other group avoided them. After 14 weeks, the nut-eating group had significant improvements in orgasmic function and sexual desire. Let's put this into perspective. Most of the men in these studies were younger and relatively healthy. But if nuts could improve their erectile function, imagine the impact on older men whose blood vessels have taken decades of wear and tear from stress, smoking, alcohol, or poor diet. Think of it like you're plumbing at home. If your pipes are clean and flexible, water flows easily. But if they're clogged, rusted, or stiff, even the strongest pump won't get water through. Nuts help clean and maintain the pipes in your body, allowing better circulation where you need it most. And here's something I tell my patients. Stronger blood flow doesn't just mean better erections. It means better brain function, better heart health, better energy throughout your day. In short, better circulation is the cornerstone of staying young. So if a handful of nuts can improve both sperm quality and erectile strength, what else could they be doing for male vitality? The next piece of research may surprise you even more. When we talk about male vitality, it's not only about fertility and erections. Desire, the spark that drives intimacy, is just as important. And this is where the research on nuts takes another fascinating turn. In one study, 83 men were divided into 2 groups. One group consumed 60 grams of mixed nuts daily, walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts, while the other group avoided nuts completely. After 14 weeks, the nut-eating group reported noticeable improvements in orgasmic function and sexual desire. These weren't subtle changes. They were significant enough for men to feel more confident and satisfied in their intimate lives.
Now let's pause for a moment.
Desire is complex. Desire is complex.
It's not just physical.
It's not just physical.
It's emotional
and psychological too.
As a urologist,
I see how loss of desire can weigh heavily on men, especially those over 60.
Many of my patients
tell me they feel less like themselves, less connected to their partners, and even anxious about whether they can perform. The decline in confidence often hurts relationships just as much as the physical symptoms. That's why findings like these matter. They suggest that nutrition isn't only fueling your body, it's also fueling your confidence, your connection, and the joy you share with your partner. Think about that. A handful of nuts not only supports blood flow and sperm health, but may also rekindle the flame in your marriage or relationship. It's a reminder that sexual health is never just about mechanics. It's about how you feel as a man, the pride you carry, the intimacy you share, the vitality you radiate when you know your body is still capable and alive. And while the science is promising, I always caution my patients not to see nuts or any single food as a magic bullet.
Real
lasting improvements come from building a foundation of health. Which brings me to the bigger picture. At this point, you might be thinking, so all I need to do is eat nuts every day and my problems are solved.
I wish it were
that simple. But the truth is, nuts are just one piece of the puzzle. They can be a powerful tool, yes, but they work best when combined with the 4 pillars of male health, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress management. I've seen men in their 60s who focused only on diet, adding nuts faithfully every day, but ignored the other areas. One patient, for example, proudly told me he ate his walnuts daily, but stayed up until 2 a.m. watching television, barely exercised, and lived under constant stress. After months, he was frustrated his energy and intimacy hadn't improved. Why?
Because without proper sleep,
your hormones don't recover.
Without
exercise, your blood vessels stay weak.
Without stress
control, your testosterone levels drop.
Nuts can't
fix what the rest of your lifestyle is breaking.
But here's the good
news.
When men
commit to the full package, balanced diet, regular activity, quality sleep, and a calmer mindset, the results are dramatic. Add nuts on top of that foundation, and suddenly you've got momentum. Erections improve, energy rises, and relationships begin to thrive again. I often remind my patients, think of health as building a house. Nuts are like premium windows. They make the house better, stronger, more beautiful. But if the foundation is cracked, windows alone won't keep the house standing. Start with the foundation, then add the upgrades. That's how you protect your vitality for the long run. And speaking of upgrades, there is one nut in particular that science suggests may be the ultimate secret weapon for men.
A nut that doesn't just support
fertility or blood flow, but
specifically shines when it comes
to erections.
And I'll reveal it to you
right after this. So let's bring this all together. The research is clear. Adding nuts to your daily routine can boost sperm quality, improve blood flow, and even reignite desire. For men over 60, that's more than just biology. It's about reclaiming confidence, intimacy, and a sense of vitality you thought was fading away. But remember, the biggest secret lies in one particular nut, pistachios. In studies, pistachios stood out as especially powerful for erectile function. Just a handful a day improved blood flow directly to the penis, something scientists confirmed with ultrasound. That's not theory. That's measurable, visible improvement. Imagine the difference in your own life. Stronger erections, more energy, more connection with your partner. And all it takes is a consistent, natural habit you can start today. No prescriptions. No complicated programs. Just a bowl of nuts waiting on your kitchen counter. But don't forget what we talked about. Nuts are the upgrade, not the foundation. Keep working on your 4 pillars. Eat well, move your body, protect your sleep, and manage stress. When you combine those habits with the right foods, the transformation can be life-changing. Now, I'd love to hear from you. If you have questions about men's health, fertility, or sexual function, drop them in the comments below. I read them, and I'll be answering as many as I can. Your question might help not only you, but thousands of other men who are quietly struggling with the same issues. And before you go, let me ask a small favor. Only a fraction of people who watch these videos are subscribed. Subscribing costs nothing, but it helps keep this channel alive and growing. So if today's message spoke to you, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and share this video with a friend who might need it. Because, gentlemen, you don't have to accept decline as inevitable. With the right knowledge and a few simple daily choices, you can stay strong, confident, and full of life well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond.